Go, son, I come in and don't give me no attitude there.
You have share no manners, boy. I wish I had your touch, boy.
You have to groom them. First, you have to target them, scope them out, see if they have low self-esteem, family problems, you know. Then you move in and gain their trust.
Like your glasses.
After that, you feel a need. Some of them like nice things like fancy phones, hairdos, clothes, food. They are ones who only looking for somebody to care and listen to their problems. You feel it? What's important though, you have to isolate them from the people. Let them believe it's all about you and them.
I get it.
Then you get through.
Nice, nice.
Look one right here. Try thing now.
A message from the Counter-trafficking unit of the Ministry of National Security.
Beyond the Tape will be back after these messages.
Visa, a network working for you even when you want to sleep late.
New Brunswick sardine fillets, boneless, ready to eat.
Perfection. Hold on. Is it sardine?
And available in bold new flavors. Brunswick sardine fillets are giving sardines a new vibe.
It's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good day.
The reason I can't hold them,
A good
Marlon
day.
Hopkinson, I am not involved in any human trafficking. Listen.
All right. Why does that statement arise?
And other people
You're being
don't write
accused
it.
of that?
No. You'll read it in a while.
I'll read it in a while. I'll read it in a while.
I don't know what is going on with you all. I know. Anyway, it is what it is.
All right. A very special good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Marlon Hopkins. As always, welcome to another program of Beyond the Tape on TV6. With me is the Superintendent of Police, Roger D. Alexander, who thought it fit to declare his assets this afternoon.
And I am willing to declare my assets anytime. You know.
Let me tell you something. And you see, here's the state we have reached in this country.
Yeah, well, the Baccarat syndrome.
Anybody that say, and this is my position now, anybody that say any bad thing about me, we're going to court. That's the way it is now.
That's his reach.
That's the way it is. I'm going to go to one of those stores. I'm going to buy a cheap black suit, a black tie, and a white long sleeve shirt.
And a white
I'm
what?
going to court. I'm going to court because let me tell you something. There are persons in this
Overbearing.
society whose only aim is to try to tarnish the image,
Of persons. Yeah.
right? And they have tried that with us in the past.
We know that. Yeah.
They have tried that with
We
us
saw
in the
it.
past. So we're no longer engaging in any foolish talk. We are going to court. Okay?
Yeah,
Thank you very much. So it is written,
So it shall be.
okay? How was your weekend, sir?
Well, Marlon Hopkinson, my weekend was filled with a lot of work and a lot of communication with members of the public.
Apparently you have an office. You have an office now.
Well, Marlon Hopkinson, you have to tell you that. You know,
A
that
virtual
sometimes-
office?
Sometimes persons expect so much of you, and I had to even forego some of the commitments that I should have, I had, especially yesterday, some of it had to be forward because I had so much other commitments to law enforcement.
You're a man in demand.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes the incredible thing is that I have great difficulty when I am not given the opportunity or could not get the opportunity to address young children.
Okay.
That's something I like to do because I see sometimes you sit there and you see persons who you know.
You think,
tomorrow.
you know, and I know that you have been invited in the past to speak to children, young children, 4 years, 5 years. You think that children at that age can absorb the information?
Yeah, you see, and this is one of the things on this program I have learned to do. I could come here, Marlon, and I could tell you about big fancy words. Sometimes you tell me I eat the dictionary, eh? But what that will do if you're trying to reach the young ones, or the ones that may have some difficulty in terms of their level of understanding, tell me what that is going to do. So sometimes I have to break it down. You see, sometimes I'm saying something and I pause, and I said, well, for those who might have a difficulty understanding, we are putting things in place in order to get the result that you're looking for, you know? Because I have been here for a while, and I'm telling you, like some persons say, oh, she doesn't speak, doesn't speak what? Yeah, doesn't speak what? You want me to say kind of fancy things?
Speak what by?
What you want me to speak about like that? You see, I have a difficulty with dealing with the big fish in the small pond. You see? So when they say these things, I say, all right, okay, it is all good. Sometimes persons look at us here, and they are mere frames of what they used to be. They are not what they used to be. And then there are some who would criticize us here, but then they were sitting in positions whereby they could have made a difference, and the only thing they did was
nada.
So I have to deal with all of that. So when I get the opportunity to talk to children, no matter the age or stage they have reached in their life, I like to reach them. And when I ask the persons before, I say, listen, who I'm coming to speak to, what type of environment they come from, well, I will get down to the real. Tell them, be honest. I went to a school, in fact, it's a camp I went to, and a 7-year-old asked me, Mr. Alexander, what do you think? This is an 8-year-old man. What do you think about children watching porn on their phone? That's an 8-year-old now. Well, I suppose, well, you know, I started. That is not I tell him, I said, listen, do you have a supervisor home? Do you with your parents home? I said, anytime it pops up, give them a call. Let mommy know what you're seeing on the phone, because apparently, I don't know if he lent somebody the phone and they went on the site. So ever so often they're sending messages on the young person's phone. So these things are coming up. What are you going to do? Tell the young well, that is not a real thing. No. Tell them, listen, that is a situation where 2 adult persons consents to have that type of activity. You see, because too many times we here and we hiding as parents, as police officers, we are hiding everything from those children. And what they do? You see?
And you see, my argument has been, it is a responsibility of the parent to inform and educate the child and mold that child into the individual you want that child to be.
Yes.
Because if you shirk your responsibility as the parent, that child is going to grow up on the block.
Yes, somebody will tell him.
Right? And as I've said over and over, I've never seen any sort of greatness
we get to see it.
come off the block here.
Well, unless
What goes on the block usually stays on the block here.
well, it depends on what block we're talking about, because saw Trinidad and Tobago come off the blocks.
Oh, you're talking about the running?
Yeah. The point boy come off the blocks real fast. And let me tell you something. You see, if anybody looking at it from whatever angle, they might mention one person, but a team effort is what I saw in the other race. A team effort. And I am not a fan of persons who don't represent well. Give it your best shot. That's what I say. Give it your best shot.
What I will say to those gentlemen, I would say thank you for that level of joy
Yeah.
they have
At the
brought
time when-
the country at a very bleak time in our country's history.
Yeah.
I don't want to behave like the messenger of doom and gloom, because I'm sure for persons, as I said, there are various how do I say, categories of life in Trinidad and Tobago. There are some who are far removed from the problems that normal people face on a daily basis. So the mother who has to come through City Gate with her children every morning and walk from Independence Square to some school in Port of Spain to drop off her children and then to go to work and then to do the same thing over and over every day. That's one type of life, and would be different for another group of people, right? So there are many facets of life in Trinidad and Tobago. So as I said, when I said that statement just now, some people may say, well, what are you talking about? We're living a good life. But some persons are not living, the life that they should be living. They deserve a better life. All right, but I think, as I said, those young men have brought a level of light to this country in a time of darkness, right? And as I said, I don't want to be a messenger of doom and gloom, but I think that the business that we are in, you a police officer and I being a member of the media,
we see it all.
sometimes we tend to see, and it's reality, it's what is happening.
We see it all.
Right? And we have to dabble in this, in these reports of criminal activity almost on a daily basis. Right? But it's always good to see young men and women, citizens of our country, do very, very well. And this is the race here.
Yeah. And here what I was asked around this time. How does one come from an environment similar to that of others and chose a path to make his country proud? How does that happen? So then, in other words, it's not like we grew up down there, healthy or wealthy way. You see? You're down in a place where we understand we grew up in the oil sector. And there was not much to do down there other than you spend that time trying to get employment there for who open their own business and all of that. But what I'm saying is this. How do you do that? So in one corner of the Point Fortin area, this young man is trying to make a difference. And then the next corner, someone is committing offenses against its citizens. You see? How does that work out? Is that not an encouraging thing when you see a man grow up in a particular area and he comes back home and he's doing well? And I will tell him this. If ever I see him, I say, listen, let your success be expanded into the minds of young people who's looking at you and saying, wow, you did well. Let them say, you know what? I want to be like you.
Yeah.
To me, it's satisfying. Anyhow we look at it. What aspect of life you may come from, when you look at a man and say, I want to be like you.
But what was also extraordinary is that when the national anthem was being played, I don't know who would have requested or suggested or recommended that pan music be used. That is absolutely amazing. So someone had the foresight. I don't know if it is the young gentleman
attacking people
who suggested or recommended that. But to me, that is absolutely extraordinary.
That was the highlight of the evening.
Yeah.
So from one to the next, Because I was often asking you, I said, Marlon Hopkinson, do we have the claim of rights that Pan was in fact discovered here, you know?
Well, we talk a good game. We talk a good game. Alright? We talk. And I have no doubt that Pan was born in Trinidad and Tobago.
They say he asked for it.
He asked for it.
Yeah, he asked for it.
Absolutely amazing.
That is good.
Amazing.
That
right?
is good.
But, and you see, I don't like to talk about the Pan and Calypso.
Yeah, that's
You
emotional.
You get me emotional.
Yeah, yeah.
Because more needs to be done for the Pan and Panists, and more needs to be done for Calypsonians and Calypso in Trinidad and Tobago. I'll stop there.
Yeah. Because remember the man said we just talk too much.
Yeah. He said, what happened?
What happened?
This is a talk show? This is a talk show?
I tell him, no, this is a movie. and the Uzis you see here, it's real life Uzis. They don't game, they don't Mickey Mouse in here, you know, so this is really reality TV. Is it?
But let's pay, and when I say let's as a country, pay tribute to these young men and women. Let's pay tribute to this team because, as I said, it's a long while we have not experienced that kind of performance from our young people. So again, thank you very much. All right, where are we moving to now, sir?
Let's go to the first item of the day. Marlon Hopkinson, this is where gun and gun violence has reached. I know some persons, they are disgusted by my explanation of this gun violence because to some, it looks like nothing. To others, they are victims of crime. Families have lost loved ones, the innocent among them. But yet some persons say, you know, I should not discuss this like that. It is sharing a bad light. You see, again, we must always. So instead of wearing a jersey marked police, wear a jersey marked leap spoon or something like that.
Written what?
Leap spoon. I don't know how upside down or something like that. I don't understand why persons don't want to face reality. When I told them, I said, the only how you could really find a solution for a problem is you first have to acknowledge that there is a problem.
Beautiful.
And if you cannot acknowledge there's a problem, we will continue to perform the thing with the long hairs. You see? Gun violence. Tell me what happened here. Tell me what could have caused this. When you take a gun, Mr. Hopkinson, take a look at this footage and tell me what you come up with. This is on Mirror Road by a bar. Alright? I try to keep it real.
Is the bar on the right or the left?
The bar is on the left of the screen at this time. On the left of our screen, it will be the right. Well, I don't know how people look at it. On the left by the blue shed. You see that blue tarpaulin thing?
The blue tent.
Right, the blue tent. Alright, so that is the bar. No.
The bar is on that tent?
No. The bar is in the vicinity there.
Okay, all right, okay.
Now, a bar is a place where everybody go. You sit down and you probably discuss or drink out your frustration, whether it be financial, whether it be relationship-wise, and all these things. You go there and you drink. Some persons have wed persons out of bars, I understand. Sometimes bars were used back in the day, I understand, for friends to get together just to have a normal drink, a toast. There are times when persons would have benefited from just the mere existence of a bar. But then look what happens now with a man coming to the bar. Boom, 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 boom. And then he runs back, right? He runs back. Marlon Hopkinson, tell me, gun violence. Are we not seeing this on our television set? Are we not seeing this? Is this not bothering to some persons? Is this just another day living in the hood? What is happening here is that I am seeing, and you would often say sometimes, there's a moment of silence. Why is this behavior so accepted by many of us? Why?
It's now a way of life.
So then we intend to go on.
We accept it.
Yeah, so we intend to go on with this something years. I think as we continue to look at this gun violence situation, as some person will say, sometimes you live by the gun and you die from its bullets. But then who, if this gun was by itself in the road, who it was going to kill?
Look at the gentleman in the green.
Yeah. Who it was going to kill if this man dropped that gun in the road? Who that gun going to kill? So it's not guns killing people really. It's citizens or people killing people. But access to that gun, having it, is the problem. Some persons would say, no, not just having it. How you use it is the problem. That too, I could relate to that. But at the end of the day, Trinidad and Tobago, gun violence is here. And it is real. And some of us are only seeing it. Some of us are not seeing it. I don't know what have to happen next for some of us to see it. Do we have to feel it in order to react to it?
Doesn't the demeanor of the gentleman in the green jersey prove my point?
Yeah. Because
right?
if it's another man.
But it has become a part of a culture. This is what Trinidad and Tobago has become. So the gentleman, he looked, you saw the gunman, as you said, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
He tried to get out of the way, and he continued walking like it was.
But if that was you would have started and take off.
But look at, and I'm not criticizing the gentleman, I'm just saying, look at what Trinidad and Tobago has become.
Yeah.
Where it is commonplace to hear gunshots. And to see a dead body on the roadside.
It is commonplace for the gun to be fired right next to you. Some of them just clap. You didn't see the party the last time? Gunshot fired, boom, boom, yeah. So, yeah, man. So, gun violence. Some of us have accepted it as a problem. And some of us are waiting. Then we have to solve it.
All right.
2 police officers. Look at this, Mr. Hopkinson. Robbery, order of the day. Someone said to me just a matter of time before, they are feeling that the citizenry going to arm themselves, every single person will arm themselves against this type of behavior, because it seems like we are, not law enforcement, it's the citizens are saying it seems like they are in the minority when it comes to this type of behavior by some citizens as they continue to rob and shoot persons. He's angry, You see how angry he was? He's angry, apparently he did not get what he came for. And so it seems. Anybody with information, you can call the nearest police station, 555-800 tips, call the 999 police emergency line. For too long, the Chinese nationals, too, have been victims of crime. There are some persons who would, well, I don't want to hear that. Crime against a person is enough for me. It doesn't matter who you are, where you came from. You have become a victim of crime. This type of violence and behavior from some citizens who went on, not wanting to work a day in their life, but they want to be part of the system. They want nice things. Someone asked today, again, how come you could have 15 cars, 14 homes, 3 boats, and never work a day in your life? Is that concerning for law enforcement? What do you think?
But is that a concern for law enforcement? Should law enforcement be concerned about that? Is it the responsibility of law enforcement to be concerned about that? Or are other organizations, should they be concerned about that?
I think it should be a holistic approach. Because, I will tell you why. You with your hungry $10,100 bill, you go in there, they ask you thousands of questions. Where you get that, Marlon? Who gave you that? You have to lie and say it's me. I give you the $10,000, right?
Sign the form of declaration.
Sign the form and all of that. There are some persons who I don't even know how to sign the form. And that is being honest. There are some persons who I can understand how they could get through. I don't even understand if they are asked questions. A man in Trinidad could tell anybody he's a fisherman. And you could own the world in Trinidad. So apparently,
you were already there, you could have told them, I don't know.
It's $2.5 million.
You should have told them.
Because
you're going back for the same problem you already went for. In the world. I have seen on what are you going to just tell you
Discovery Channel.
They don't care in there, you know. I've seen how they treat on TV now.
They're fishing for tunas.
Bunch of guys laughing, talking, and then whenever you can't breathe, they just put on a
multi-
switch. They don't care. I see, man. When you're there, you're like it's like a mechanic.
Answer the question.
Fucking you're somewhere else, and they like play with your body, bro.
It should never be considered just the law.
There's like death, bro. I don't want to end up there,
man. Because
and then you can't go visit something. I don't know how it is. Where's the person that? Yeah, he died. How he died? You know, you have to.
The law enforcement is supposed to deal with that.
I thought on TV those going to die too, and I seen all those people doing this or that.
Who have our job specs.
You remember? Fucking her up, man. She woke up.
They give us work to do. Because either nobody else wants to do it, or nobody else could find a solution to it, so give law enforcement it. And when law enforcement are trying to figure it out, we are taking too long, we don't know what we're doing, and all these things, but it does not fall within the scope of law enforcement.
No, it's because you're being too much.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's remind persons of our numbers 63, 17, 11. The extensions are 1992, 1993, 1996, and 1997. We do have a lot more for you on the program. We are going to a very short break. We'll be right back.
Are we talking too much today?
Good weather, bad weather, under the weather. At Steffi's Pharmacy, we're always ready to serve you with unbeatable prices on a wide variety of OTC and prescription drugs, cosmetics, office supplies, and more. Our professional and friendly staff offer free counseling, blood pressure and sugar testing, and we're open every day, including holidays. Come visit at 277 Naparima Mayara Road, Princestown today. Find us on Facebook.
This year, for Tobago Carnival on October 30th, Jade Monkey and Happy Place are taking over the streets of Tobago with a tribute to blacks in mass. Play mass in Tobago in 3 big sections: Mashup, Breathless, and Tusty. To register in Trinidad, go to Roddy and Carol Mass Camp in Woodbrook in Tobago. Register at the Jade Monkey Bar and Grill Crown Point or at Happy Place Bar in Conby. Or you can also register online at www.jademonkeymass.com. Jade Monkey Mass. That's how we mass in Tobago.
Alright, welcome back. So 2 police officers were charged on Saturday in relation to the shooting incidents at Rich Plain, Diego Martin, which resulted in the death of PC Clarence Gilks. On Friday, the DPP advised that Police Constable Christian Genty and WPC Crystal Williams Bowman be jointly charged with shooting with intent to do grievous bodily harm, and PC Christian Genty be charged for the murder of PC Clarence Gilks. PC Genty, 28, of Diego Martin, and WPC Crystal Williams Bowman, 30, of East River, Port of Spain, were both on suspension and were last attached to the Western Division Task Force.
Again, law enforcement do what they have to do. Now, here the question I want to ask this evening is our question, if I'm permitted to do that. If we have the time. She said, no, I'm not permitted to do that. Let me ask thing and reading through it. And just if you could make sense out of it, we'll probably ask an attorney if you could help us along those lines. In any other environment, whether it be doctors, lawyers, nurses, other persons, whenever a serious allegation is made against you, is it that you are placed on suspension in those organizations? I'm just asking it.
Well, I suspect it's according to the allegation and to the organization and to the department in which you operate. Let's take, for instance, if you are an accountant and allegations are being made, I suspect you would be removed from the department or suspended.
Suspect. You suspect. Because we as police officers, we are placed on suspension sometimes for very minor offenses. Minor assault, and these things, we are placed on suspension. Now, the process would be that if you say that a man is innocent until proven guilty, then why are you taking me and inconveniencing me on an allegation? I just say this, listen to it. Are you inconveniencing me on an allegation as relates to my work when there are other persons who would normally go about their lawful business? I'm just asking.
But I do understand it.
And it's a question that was posed to me, and I said, all right, I will bring it up and let me hear it.
To facilitate integrity, credibility. It's a situation where you do not want to compromise the investigation. So I do understand its value, but I also understand what you are saying, that people are sometimes penalized on just an allegation.
All right, yeah. And I hear you. I mean, it works both ways in terms of also the criminal element. But this is a situation, especially where there are minor infractions. I'm not talking about this situation here.
Okay.
Minor infringements. Where someone is an allegation is made against someone, a law enforcement officer, investigation takes place. So see what I'm saying? If there's an investigation taking place and after that investigation someone is placed before the court, at what stage now can the officer interfere with anything at all?
The crux of the matter is what you would have said. Law enforcement. Law enforcement.
You think so?
I do.
Because here's what I'm asking now. If that was the criteria in terms of interfering with the investigation, then how come now persons are receiving bail on murder charges? Isn't that not a major thing we have seen here over the years where persons they shooting witnesses and all of that?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. So it's a matter of consistency or inconsistency.
And that's all I was asking. Don't get me wrong. I'm not supporting anything. It's just a question that came up today, and I said I'll bring it.
So what you're saying, I hope that I'm reading you the right way. You're saying when it comes to other persons, persons are presumed innocent until proven guilty. But when it comes to law enforcement, persons are presumed guilty.
Right. Because here's what's going to happen. And I'm not talking about serious offenses.
And we're not talking about this matter.
We're not talking about this matter. So what I'm saying is this. Here it is that you will see law enforcement sort of was placed on suspension. All right? When you place on suspension, what message are you sending? Or what do you think the public is looking at?
It gives the perception of guilt.
Oh, sure. And this is all I'm asking.
It gives the perception of guilt.
I'm just feeding along those lines. So I said I'll bring it to your attention today.
But I think that you're right. It gives the perception of guilt.
Yeah.
A 31-year-old man appeared virtually before a Princestown magistrate. He is Ted Tika, 31, of Manahambra Road, Princestown. He is charged and later remanded into custody on 2 counts of shooting with intent, 2 counts of possession of firearm, 2 counts of possession of ammunition, 2 counts of possession of firearm to endanger life, and 2 counts of possession of ammunition to endanger life for an incident involving a man on June 18th, 2022. He was also charged for wounding with intent, possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, possession of a firearm to endanger life, and possession of ammunition to endanger life of another man of the same date. Tika was also charged with 2 additional counts of possession of ammunition. So He has 17 gun charges.
And he's on bail.
The document here does not speak about that.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're moving on.
Next.
8 nabbed, more guns, ammo, narcotics seized during police operations. Now, 8 suspects were arrested and 3 firearms and a quantity of ammunition and narcotics seized by police officers during several operations overnight. This is the second operation in 48 hours in which police seized several guns and narcotics.
Are we not fulfilling our mandate as
Police?
police officers by removing illegal guns on the nation streets? Now, persons that say, well, hey, Alexander, that or they ain't see nothing yet. That's all right. But we continue to do our job. And if our job says that we should remove illegal guns off the streets, you never heard one time, since Marlon speaking today alone, that any one of these guns were illegal firearms. They are in fact illegal firearms, bought in here, by whatever means, in the hands of criminal element that was kept caught by law enforcement, sometimes before, during, or after the commission of an offense. Yeah? So we are in fact fulfilling our mandate by removing illegal guns off the nation streets. Yeah? And how much already for the day? We had, over the weekend here, we had about at least 8 or 9 firearms removed off the nation streets.
All right, 2 men were granted bail in order to stay away from their victims when they appeared before a Scarborough magistrate last week, charged with sexual offences arising from separate incidents which occurred in the Tobago Division. Thomas Walker, 33, a landscaper of Plymouth, was charged with rape, false imprisonment, and 2 counts of grievous sexual assault when he appeared before a magistrate. He was granted bail in the sum of $150,000, or a cash alternative of $15,000, in order to not have any contact with the victim, either directly or indirectly. He has to stay 50 feet away from the victim and report to the police station 1 day per week. And in the second incident, Anthony Weeks, 39, of Speyside, Tobago, was charged with rape and buggery when he also appeared before a magistrate. He was granted bail in the sum of $200,000. He's to keep 30 feet away from the victim.
Rape and buggery. Mr. Alvarez.
Let's remind persons of the COVID update. All right, so there are 202 new positive cases of COVID in Trinidad and Tobago, and there are 2 additional deaths.
Only last week we would have shown an RTA, road traffic accident, involving a vehicle. And I was wondering, I said, why? Come on now. You know, sometimes we behave in a funny way where things could happen on the nation's road. Things can happen. Whether we are speeding or not, things can happen. And as a result of that, there could be things on the roadway that could cause you to get involved in an RTA. Oil spill, different things on the roadway, gravel as the case may be. So sometimes all we need to do is the honorable thing or the right thing by coming in and saying, hey, listen, I was involved in an RTA, the vehicle's outside here. Who vehicle is this? And that process sort of continued on. We go to the station, we make a report, and all will be well. We have our insurance company. If you are found wanted by police, a breach, and you will be charged accordingly. So this was the accident. Do we still have the accident? We don't have the accident. All right. However, the owner of the vehicle involved, the X-Trail, surrendered to law enforcement.
The owner looks like you?
They look like me, I feel that way. All right.
The White Nation X-Trail, PCS 7583. On July the 30th, Saturday morning, I was heading in an eastern direction on the main road. Due to inclement weather, I lost control of the vehicle, and it caused me to collide with a fence. And based on watching your program, I saw that I also collided with another vehicle involved. And based on fright in the moment, I was unable to go to the police station. Since then, I went in a mental breakdown, and here I am this morning, coming to report the matter based on what happened. I want to humbly apologize to all persons involved in the incident. I hope things could solve from here on. Saturday
St. Joseph Police District, we will transfer this message to the St. Joseph Police Station. It's an open door policy. Right, and an investigator will be appointed. I will contact you. If it's our district, we will be doing the investigation. This is a warning of intended prosecution. This is because you did not report the accident in the specific time period. So this is given to you in writing. Okay?
Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, I never hear somebody say boy up. I always hear they say man up. And I think he manned up. And he would have done the honorable thing. But then there's also another side of the story where we often talk about this every day on this program, where someone goes to a station turned away because accident or whatever offense was not committed in the station district where he went in to make that report. And you hear the officer talk about a one-door policy, meaning there's only one door to enter the police service. Any station, you could walk in. I could go and report something in San Juan that happened to me in Tobago. You see? One-door policy. All right? The officer would have explained himself, and at the end of the day, the investigation will continue, and we'll see what happens next.
All right, we must go to a very short break. We'll be right back.
Tell me what you think about this, Marlon Hopkinson. If you are a trained driver, you're a trained driver, real trained driver, you learn to do defensive driving and all these things, maneuvering, and all of that. And let's just say you're going down the road and you're involved in a road traffic accident that might be, your vehicle was destroyed, but you seem to be all right. Does that training that you have remove that emotional trauma that you might have, or you might become at the start of when that RT occurs? Meaning that when you are trained, if you no longer feel emotional traumas and all these things, do you think that it moves away? Does it eliminate that as an officer that is trained, or any person who's trained to do a particular thing?
Let me ask you this. Let me answer it in this way. Why do, in other countries, let's say the US, you have soldiers who would have gone to war, would have killed people, and when they come back home, they are mentally destroyed. You were trained, not so? You were trained. But you will only know what you will do when it happens. When it confronts you. When it happens. That is all, you know. That's the only way. Why I ask you that is this. So I do understand the importance of training, though. Yes, the importance of training. You try to have that calm decision-making situation even under stress. Right? You're under stress, but you're still able to make decisions that could help you to save your life, as the case may be. Let's take a call, sir. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller. Caller, are you there?
Hi, good afternoon, Mara. Good afternoon, Superintendent.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Superintendent, I'm in great program as usual. Superintendent, while I listen to your argument of the so-called fishermen and them who have all the boats and houses and cars and millionaires. Superintendent, I'm 46 years of age, and ever since in my lifetime following the politics of this country, politics, we have always seen allegations of corruption from our elected members of parliament. I'm yet to see any one of them brought before the judicial system for these so-called allegations. I mean, I know at the end of the day you have other divisions that deal with white-collar crime, but we don't see nobody coming forward, and this is why I just see a lot of our citizens in this country tell themselves, well, we will just do what we want. I mean, the last group we had in terms of Gary Griffith, because of our adversarial politics in this country, he was removed. I mean, he was removed still this time, but in the selection of a new commissioner, politics again, and the man is no longer there. When the man of the criminals had them fear, Gary Griffith put fear into the criminal of this country, and I start
at the end of the day, we all have a part to play, you know, so it's not just one man playing a part, it's all of us have a part to play. Now, if citizens take a stand against crime in the manner in which we want them to, whether we have a best commissioner in the world, the strongest commissioner in the world, or the weakest commissioner in the world, we will still get the desired result we're looking for. You know why? Because the criminal element will understand that pushback is not coming just from law enforcement, so they're looking for the police vehicle, but from any law-abiding citizen that is walking the face of this earth.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's take another call. Good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. You're live on air. Go ahead.
Thank you. First of all, I would have told you for that program on Friday evening with the when people find stuff at places and there's no form of redress, that really opened an eye. Yeah. I get that and foremost, and I have had a situation with your minus. The thing where I bought something on Indian arrival day and 11 days later, can I get some form of redress where I bought a blender and the blender, the cover is not closed under the armor. When we spoke to the manager at the office in Arima, of Chapter Arima, and the manager asked me why can't I put my hand up the lid. So I had to ask her, do punchment do that? When you put a bite punch somewhere, do you punchment put your hand up the lid and just finish blend? Right? And I still didn't have the result up to now. That's one aspect. Two, I should be very quickly. With regard during the pandemic, the height of the pandemic, we spoke about neighbors being there, brothers keep, etc. And this was something I didn't park in. Now, I'm going to reiterate something regarding that, whereas I have a situation with a neighbor who keeps parking and blocking my driveway. Especially when I have to take care of somebody who's elderly, not me go to the hospital at times, and I have to ring their doorbell, I have to move their vehicle. When the vehicle's parked opposite my driveway or obliquely opposite, I can't come with my driver. My vehicle is long, it's a big vehicle, it's a long vehicle. For example, if you take, like a Toyota Prado, the length of a Prado is the length of it's a long vehicle, and no matter what is going on, approximately 12 days. And that person, if you're there because they're big, so he doesn't, but he can't do it anyway. So, and you